My colleague left with his JCPOA binder, as that would have been very helpful. We've got a small chair in the back that's a little bit wobbly, and that's about the only thing you could have put under it to actually stabilize it, since it did nothing to stabilize Iran. Ms. Stroll, you really loved the quick fire, rapid fire stuff when it came to the Biden administration. I kind of want to follow suit here, if you will, and I want to make this quick. Did oil exportation increase under the Biden administration?
Sanctions enforcement is an area that could have been improved.
Did it increase under the Biden administration?
Chinese
or no?
purchases of discounted Iranian oil increased under the previous
Okay.
administration.
Did Biden delist the Houthi rebels?
Yes.
Did that disrupt 12% of global trade through the Red Sea?
The delisting itself was not the cause of the disruption of the
Did
global
the
trade.
increase in actual attacks as a result of delisting the Houthis increase the amount of disruption of global trade through the Red Sea, resulting in 12% of global trade being disrupted?
Iranian provision of support to the Houthis is part of the
Did
reason
the unfreezing of assets and the increase of oil trade give more money to Iran to be able to fund proxy militias?
I can't speak to the exact fungibility of the fund.
I actually thought that was your job. Did the currency of the Iran, the rial, go up in value versus the dollar during the time the Biden administration was in place?
My colleague would be better positioned on that.
I'll allow you to answer.
Yes.
Yes, it did, because under max pressure, it's at about $1 million rial to the dollar, something they haven't seen in a long time. So I noticed that you had a lot of really quick, rapid-fire things on the previous administration, but not a whole lot when it came to the increase in maximum pressure that's actually resulted in the Iranian regime reducing the amount of attacks they have right now. Wasn't it the Biden administration who actually requested the IDF and Israel to launch themselves into a ceasefire for negotiations?
I can't speak to the specifics of that. What
Well,
I know,
the answer is yes. And had they done that, we wouldn't have eliminated Hassan Nasrallah of Hezbollah. We would not have eliminated Sinwar. We would not have eliminated many of the actual terrorist organization leads that has basically been put in place and enforced to grow stronger as a result of the weakness that the administration had shown. Look what we have today. We talk all the time about how we're so weak on Russia, but was it not the Trump administration who actually removed us from the failed INF treaty? Something that no other administration was willing to do before? Was it not the JCPOA that both General Secretary Ban Ki-moon and Gutierrez said had been violated when Iran was still shipping mid-range ballistic missiles to the Houthis when they were launching against Saudi Aramco? This is preposterous to even assume that the Biden administration had done anything to prevent the enrichment of nuclear, or that the JCPOA or Jake Sullivan or any of the others had done anything that would have weakened the regime. And I want to be very clear. There is a difference, and I think it's important to always point out the differentiation in this. There is a difference in the regime and the Iranian people. The Iranian people want a free Iran. I can tell you that those who are bravely protesting in the streets, those who are continuing to try and risk their lives every single day, like Mahsa Amini did, to say enough is enough, shouldn't be lumped in. So when our colleagues very recklessly just says Iran, I think that that's a very big misnomenclature, and I want to correct that for the record. I want to go into sanction enforcement. Do you feel, Ms. Youngman, that sanctions were enforced under the Biden administration?
Not until late 2024.
And do you feel that Iran is at a stronger or weaker position right now than they were previously?
As a result of the sanctions that have been rolled out over the last few months and at the end of 2024, they are weaker, but not as weak as they could have been if sanctions were fully enforced under the Biden administration.
Completely agreed. And what I noticed from Iran is that not only are they concerned about this administration more so than the last, they've actually moved and relocated their surface-to-air missiles around Qom, around Natanz, around Esfahan, because they know that unlike the Obama-Biden drawn red line, that this administration has actually proven to take real enforcement. Do you think, Mr. Norman, that if we actually, not actually hurting or impacting or having a lot of collateral damage as you would if you hit cities like Tehran or others, but went after the nuclear facilities, that it would send a direct message to the regime that we will not continue to play weak with them?
It certainly would send a powerful message to the regime that we would not play weak with them, sir.
And I think that that's really what this administration has proven, both in the first administration and now, is that we're not going to continue to play weak with our adversaries. The China, Russia, Iran, North Korea geopolitical alignment has grown stronger under the previous regime, And it's President Trump and this administration who's continue to try and make the necessary steps to enforce sanctions, to guarantee that we relist the Houthis, to stop the the Sea of Navigation from being disrupted, and to actually, for once and for all, actually see that the Iranian people have support from the United States to overthrow a regime who has been dictatorship, tyrannical, and continue to do this, but only build and bolden themselves under the Biden administration. With that, I will now recognize, if it pops up here, and I'm not sure that they're updating it. There we go. We will recognize the gentle lady from Pennsylvania, Ms. Dean.
There we go. I'm going to slide down one.